Good evening. I hope for you it is a good evening. Last night when we talked, I gave you an overview of some ideas, some thoughts, some revelations that I have and have experienced over 70 years of searching. Tonight I'd like to give you some advice. Now normally I don't give advice because nobody takes it. Why should they? After all, who am I anyway? I'm someone you don't know, a stranger, a wanderer. I let you see me in the light because I thought maybe that would be easier. It's easier on many levels. You can dismiss me easier. You can accept me easier. Or you might just find something of yourself in what I have to say. I don't know if you can or not, but I hope that you can. Someone wrote me an email or message that what I have to say is pretty dark. Well, that's probably true. Partly because the journey is painful. First principle of Buddhism is pain. That's the first principle of Buddhism. Now, why is that? Why is the first principle of Buddhism pain, not love, not acceptance, pain? Because the journey hurts, and you have to be brave. Like Christ said, you have to take up your cross daily. Now, what does that mean, take up your cross? It means your burdens, your fears, your anxieties. Whatever you can imagine, you must take them up and face them. Some call those things demons. Some say that it's the devil. Well, of course, I don't think there is a devil. And I don't believe that there are demons either. I think there are psychological demons. And I think there's mental illness. And I think there's illness of the soul, which is probably very catching in this culture. I think most people at one time in their life catch this illness of the soul. And you know what they do? They get distracted by things. They get distracted by philosophy. Whatever they're studying. Their love affairs, their work, and a myriad of other things that are available to us in this dimension. And then they sort of forget. A kind of spiritual amnesia sets into them. This amnesia is curable, but you have to face the pain of remembering. Remembering what? Excellent question. That varies from individual to individual, from place to place, from culture to culture. After all, we're all a product of the culture that we live in. Some of us go beyond culture and leave it behind. Sometimes that's necessary. In fact, most of the time it's necessary. I remember I was reading a book by Thomas Merton one time. He was a Jesuit priest. He went to Japan to spend many years in a monastery meditating. When he was done, he went back to the Vatican and he said to them, "I cannot say that what I experienced wasn't real. I have to say that it was transcending, glorious. It opened my mind to new vistas, new places, new things, new ideas. I felt the universe go into my heart, the heart chakra. And from the heart chakra, it drove it into the crown chakra. And Merton was released from all those doubts and fears that had troubled him for a lifetime. He was going to write about it. He's a writer. He's written many books. Look him up. Poet. The Vatican asked him to please not publish his book until 25 years after his death, because they didn't want the message that meditation had given him, the truth that it had shown him. His meditation took him to the edge of the universe where he could see all the way home. Something that Christianity had not done. Maybe he was too busy being a priest, a Jesuit, an intellectual. Maybe he was busy telling people what to think. I hope I'm not doing that. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just making some observations in these lectures. Mostly by myself, in my own journeys. Because I found myself years ago hollow, empty, troubled, with no way out. I was like in a little box. I'm an artist, and I did a lot of paintings of myself in these little boxes that I couldn't get out of. And like Thomas Merton, I had to find a method. So there is method in my madness, if you want to call it that. I found a method. What is that method? First of all, I went exploring and found a place, or places. Places of power, as I call them. Other people have called them that, other writers, other people. But for me, they had a particular attraction, and I needed to go to those places. I was actually called